It appears things have gone downhill since the last time you were here. Argos has clearly washed its hands of this operation.
Well, you're back. Oh no, don't start. I've had enough Barret for one lifetime. I don't need the sequel showing up on my doorstep. More pirates showed up when you were gone. We weren't as lucky this time. Calvert, Troy, some of the new Dusties. They didn't make it. Well, how could you have? You weren't here. Anyway, I was pinned down behind some crates with Barret. Bullets and laser fire everywhere. No smile on that damn carefree face of his. Like he knew this was it. I started steeling myself to go out fighting. Then that idiot puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Stay here, Lin. I got you."
Not quite. Barret is more dangerous than you might think.
Next thing I know, 2 of the pirates are dead, and he's got the 3rd one in a headlock. Drags him out into the open at gunpoint and demands to talk, or else I'm going to demonstrate Newton's 3rd law on this guy's temporal lobe. And that's when they brought out Heller. I didn't overhear everything, but after the 10 longest seconds of my life, Barret put his hands up, and both of them ended up getting taken aboard the pirate ship. And that's the last I saw of either of them. Too risky to put that in a message. Too much liability. You know how it is. Our clients need to know when the operations start and stop. We handle the rest. They could have grav-jumped anywhere. I tried pinging a transmission to the ship in the comms building before they left, but the pirates must have fried it. You want to try it? Go ahead. But the odds of them being alive, even if you could find them... I've lost a lot of people on this run, Dusty. I just want to pack up.
did you learn to pick? You know what, on second thought, I don't want to know.
Can't believe we got into this mess. Would you be quiet? Trying to make out the grav jump calculations before we're out of range. Out of range of what? Out of range of the sensor array on Vectera. Would you keep up? Once we're outside the star system, the bandwidth goes from instant speed to effectively never. What good is sending a transmission down there? You gonna tell Lin how royally screwed we both are? She doesn't even have a ship. You underestimate how many of my admirers there are in the galaxy, Heller. One of them is bound to show up, looking to reunite with this handsome face. We're doomed. Capital D, doomed. Got it, okay. Whoever finds this, I'm attaching the interstellar coordinates to the metadata on the transmission. Rescue us. Repeat, rescue us.
So, you actually get that computer working again? What? Let me see that. Funny. Even knowing he's alive, I still never want to see him again. Heller, on the other hand... Okay. Let me send you the location data embedded in the transmission. Find them, okay? What? Really? Not really cut out for whatever it is people like you and Barret do. But it might not be a bad time to think about a career change after all this. If you have room in your crew for an outpost supervisor, maybe we can talk. Well, don't start buying me stuffed animals for my birthday or anything. But yes, all right. I don't like seeing my people hurt. Even Barret and Heller. Just get after them, okay? And hey, if you ever need a little extra help, I've been thinking about a career change lately. Maybe it's time to put Argos behind me. Seems like you've been keeping busy, Dusty. My contract's up with Argos. If you give me an outpost to run, I'll have it optimized for rapid material. I'm a good hand with explosives, and you'll never hear me complain about carrying a heavy pack. Sure, I don't mind taking orders from a former employee. It can't be worse than working for Barret. After this mess? Certainly. It's just a job. Nothing to... All right. Stay safe, Dusty. I'll be cleaning up here a while longer if you decide you need me.
Hello.
Move on.
insertion completed. Switching over to standard engines. Beginning landing cycle.
Good day, Captain.
Oh, hey, it's you. And here I thought you were some pirate coming back to kill me. Lucky me, right? You see, I laugh, but I'm on a lot of meds. Kinda just mellows everything. Man, I was so terrified when I got pulled on board that pirate ship. Barret was all, "Sorry, brother, I'll get us out of this. Trust me." Not what you and I would call a plan, necessarily. Oh, I'm getting to that. He tells me we need to start pretending to fight each other. Trick the pirates into thinking they need to come in before one of us gets killed. I just remember him shouting, "This kid is a killer. How am I supposed to defend myself against these pearly whites? He's gonna bite my face off." I mean, I didn't think it would work, but they came in. All of a sudden, we were wrestling with two of them. Barret reached for one of their guns. Bingo. Blasted the pilot right in the back. Through to the flight console. And dropped orbit like a rock off a high-rise. I blacked out. And when I came to, there he was, smiling like it was just another day on the job. You missed the fun part, Heller. I mean, I go through all the trouble of saving your butt, and you weren't even awake to notice. Then he did the little finger gun thing. Well, no, I don't think so. I caught him holding his ribs a few times. Favored his left leg a bit, you know? Oh, yeah. Probably should have talked about that first. Did I mention I'm on a lot of painkillers? So, I was real excited when a ship showed up. Then, less excited when I realized it was a Crimson Fleet ship. And then, really less excited when Barret said, "It's okay, I got this." He mumbled something to him, and then they were all gone. I was drifting in and out. But, I think I heard the word ransom. I was drifting in and out, but yeah, I think so. Got a signal from the ship before they grav jumped. Guessing it was Barret. Haven't really been in a good space to have a listen. Here you go. Hey, I should come with you, right? I don't think anyone else is coming. I think Argos is probably gonna write this whole thing off. Plus, I'm 90% sure working for you would be safer. I hope. Yeah, just, don't ask me to operate any heavy machinery for a while. Give me a minute. I think the worst of it is... Yeah, I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Ready to wisecrack with the best of them. Let me know when you want to head out.
You've given the fleet a lot of trouble, Barret. Hey, since when is surviving being attacked causing trouble? Isn't that just fighting back? Hey, pilot, could you move your arm a little bit to the left? I can't make out the console.
Don't move! He's trying to figure out our destination. Probably transmitting this conversation right now while we're still in orbit.
Well, yeah. Thought I was making that pretty obvious. Okay, put the gun down. I'm done. See? My retinas are pointing away from the console and towards this lovely view of space we have out the window.
Tie him up. Once we get back to the base, the fun starts.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock. You bet. I've worked on enough remote outposts that I know. And if you're in the market for them. Don't worry about me. I'm a tough cook. Damn, I just can't catch a break.
off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
Engines firing. Here we go. Achieving orbit now.
You're running out of time to make the smart decision. We could use a vacation. If you're feeling generous, you could help us out. Or we can just dust your ship. Sorry, that's not on the menu. Go ahead, try and run!
Another day, another credit. Seems like you've been keeping busy, Dusty. If, my contract's up with Argo. Works for me. I'm not fussy about assignments. I'll go where I'm needed. Right. I'll get to work. Let's catch up later. You look well. I suppose that wouldn't... I never considered anything else. My parents were miners too. I've been learning the trade since I was old enough to dig. The longest I've spent above ground was the year and a half I served in the UC military during the Colony War. That was more than enough for me. I prefer to keep my boots full of dust and my pockets full of credits. Less trouble that way. No, I don't. I only ask as many questions as I need to get my job done. I had no idea it was dangerous. I've seen skeletons the size of starships buried in sheetrock, and crystals that release a toxic gas potent enough to kill you through your suit. Once I was part of a job that unearthed an entirely new species of cave-dwelling insects. You never know what you'll find when you break ground. Rocks are good at keeping secrets. No, whatever that thing was, it's the only one I've ever seen. I'm glad it's not my problem anymore. And I'm glad you bounced back from it. Losing a miner is never easy. All right, what's your question? Okay. If you insist. I did. I know I don't seem like the military type. Like most people, I was less practical when I was young. I was only in the military for a year and a half. I spent the rest of the war underground, mining materials for the UC to turn into ships and bullets. I was talked into it. Someone I loved felt called to serve, and he asked me to join him. Only one of us walked away from the war, though. I was a drill sergeant. You don't seem surprised. I have a firm hand and a knack for getting the best out of people. The UC saw that and put me in charge of training new recruits for combat. Well, I lost someone dear to me in the war. I'm as strict as I need to be to make sure my workers' families don't have to go through that too. Mining can be as dangerous as combat, you know. There's a good reason why I've held on to old habits. It was my husband, the love of my life. He was killed just a month before the armistice. No, we didn't. I was stationed at a recruiting center on Jemison, and he served on the front lines. He was a crewman aboard one of the UC's largest ships. He used to tease me about how much more exciting his service was than mine. He always hated being stuck in cities for too long. The transport vessel he was aboard was shot down by the Freestar Collective. Hundreds of lives lost. That's the cost of peace. My husband was proud to serve the UC. He served honorably, and I'm proud of him for it. I only wish I'd gotten to say goodbye. Thank you. It was never quite the same after he died. Sure. His name was Manuel. He was a miner, like me. We were stationed at the same outpost for a few years, and we had the same supervisor. He was a better man than most. Honest, kind-hearted, and even-tempered. I've never felt more at peace than I did when I was with him. Losing him was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Damn colony war. 5 years. Then we were married for most of it. I knew he was right for me after our first conversation. And I'm not the type to waste time. I can still remember the look on his face when I asked him to marry me. Do I seem like the motherly type, Dusty? No. We never had children of our own. Manuel has a daughter named Miranda, but she was already a teenager when we got married. She lives in New Homestead with her family. We aren't very close, but I try to see her every time I pass through the Sol system. Heartbreaking doesn't even begin to describe it. Manuel was absolutely everything to me. Losing him shook me to my core. I've never been the same. Manuel was my greatest joy. When he died, he took most of my happiness with him. I couldn't handle the heartbreak, so I threw myself into work. I barely looked up from a cutter for years after that. I figured if I kept my head down and my workers safe, that eventually I'd get over the loss. But it's like I said, time doesn't heal everything. I believe I was only ever meant to love one person. I still hate waking up without him. I was with the other officers at my base when a report came through about one of our ships being destroyed. I recognized its name from Manuel's messages. It took a few days before the casualty reports started coming through. But by the time one of the officers came to console me, I already knew he was gone. Space battles don't tend to leave many survivors. I don't think so either. I don't know if distracting myself instead of finding a way to move on was the right choice. That's the trouble with aging. The more of it you do, the more foolish your younger self looks. If it is time to move on, then leaving Argos was a good first step. I don't have as much to worry about out here. Farewell. Do you need me for something? Best of luck out there.
Supervisor's log supplemental. Still day 2 of Argos Extractor's Vectera dig. Restart collective claim ID Beta 7548 Alpha. As far as anyone knows, this is just another ore run. Vectera's got enough mid-level veins to keep everyone working and not asking questions. I've told Heller everything he needs to know, which is pretty much everything I know. That this is another one of Barret's special orders. He made good with the payment for Kazal, even if it was a bust. This time, I'm not so sure. This place is giving me the willies. I think we're going to find something. I just have no idea what it could be, or why Barret might want it. But those sweet constellation credits mean we dig our holes and keep our mouths shut. And I'm okay with that. Hopefully, between Barret's mysterious thing and the ore itself, we'll be done with this rock in 5 days, when the transport is supposed to come back for extraction.
Still think there might be a spot for me on... Whew. Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that. For a second there, I thought you were gonna leave me behind. What's on the agenda today? You got it. Catch you on the flip side, boss. Thanks for letting me tag along. Hey, you need something? Yeah, ask away. Okay, what's on your mind? You heard of New Homestead in the Sol System? Nah, most people haven't. It's out in the sticks, on one of Saturn's moons. That's where I grew up. Not exactly the most exciting place to be a kid. It's got a lot of ice, a lot of wind, and not much of anything else. I wasn't exactly torn up about leaving to work for Argos. If my family weren't still working the wind farms there, I don't think I'd ever go back. Oh yeah, big time. New Homestead was one of the first places people settled after we left Earth. Back then, wind power was all the rage. Some of the equipment at the farm's been around since the first generation of settlers made it to Titan. And it shows, let me tell you. Lots of people in New Homestead work there, including my mom. It's not the greatest job, but it sure beats the ice mines. Boss, I spent most of my time collecting rocks. For fun. That should tell you everything you need to know about the bustling metropolis that is New Homestead. The place makes Sidonia look like the big city. I had more fun freezing my ass off looking for meteorites than most New Homesteaders do in their entire lives. Not enough, according to my mom. But I try to get back every couple months, and I keep in touch when I'm not there. Yeah, I never saw myself living in New Homestead forever. To tell you the truth, I hope my family splits too. My mom's always talked about retiring to Jemison. Of course, that'd be a whole lot easier if she didn't have so many kids to look after. New Atlantis isn't exactly cheap. Hopefully she'll be able to move someday, though. I worry about her. Wind farming's a pretty dangerous job. Maybe someday, when my brothers are older. Lin convinced me. She and some Argos miners stopped by my hometown on Titan to refuel, and I happened to be on shift at the spaceport that day. I noticed some rare minerals in her cargo hold and started chatting with her about them. And she was impressed by how much I knew about geology and offered me the gig. It wasn't a hard sell. Lin seemed like a decent boss and the salary was great. Besides, my rock collection had gotten as big as it was gonna get on Titan. Yeah, we are. She's been my boss for a long time. I think of her as a friend. Don't tell her I said this, but she's not as much of a hard ass as she'd like you to think. And despite what she says, I know she has a soft spot for me. Hell yeah, I do. I've been working on it for years. I used to collect mineral samples from meteorites that hit Titan, or buy them off pilots at the spaceport. Lin even contributed to it. She offered me a good-sized chunk of tantalum for my collection, as a signing bonus. No way. Whatever you found down there had some seriously weird energy coming off of it. Honestly, I hope I never see something like that again in my life. 8 years, give or take a couple months. It's been a great job. Pays decent, and my rock collection's never looked better. I don't. Really. After what happened on Vectera, I seriously needed a break from Argos. And you're not shy about cracking rocks either, so I still get my fix. Well, my dad's not in the picture, but I have the best mom in the settled systems. More brothers than you can shake a stick at, too. Raising us gave Mom a real run for her money. It's a miracle she didn't leave us to freeze at one of the ice mines on Titan. We got in all kinds of trouble as kids. Couldn't tell you. He split to join a spacer group when I was young, and I haven't heard from him since. Broke my poor mom's heart. I was 12. He left while I was out collecting rocks with a couple of my brothers. Didn't say goodbye or anything. Real class act, huh? Mom took it the hardest. She and my dad were together a long time. I don't think she saw it coming. I sure didn't. And most of my brothers were too young to get what was happening, but they could tell how upset our mom was. That was hard on everyone. But hey, we got through it okay in the end. My mom and I leaned on each other and managed to keep things running while we got back on our feet. Nope, and I don't plan on it. He made it pretty clear that he didn't want to know me, so I don't want to know him either. Honestly, it wasn't as tough as you'd think. When he left, I told myself to focus on the family I still had instead of wasting time on the guy who left us. That helped me keep my head on straight about the whole thing. I've got 6. Evan, Tim, Ethan, Shane, Lucas, and Finn. Or, boys, get the hell down here, as our mom likes to call us. Now, I'm the oldest by a couple years. Finn's the youngest, he's only 10, and the rest of them are moody teenagers. She's a new homesteader, born and raised. Her family's been working the wind farm since the first generation of settlers made it to Titan. She's a great mom. Never lets anyone put her kids down. Oh, you should have seen how mad she got when she found out people at school were making fun of my rock collection. She was so determined to get me to stick with it that she read every geology book I had so she could ask me about my collection. That meant a hell of a lot to me. Yeah, you can say that again. My brothers and I were always up to something. It's a good thing I grew up in a town where our definition of getting into trouble was screwing around with old mining equipment. We would have raised all sorts of hell in a big city like New Atlantis. Knock yourself out, boss. Already taken care of, boss. I donated it to one of the tour companies in New Homestead. Geological formations are one of Titan's big tourist attractions. It hurt my heart a little to give it up, but the woman I donated them to promised they'd give me credit for collecting all the samples, assuming she ever puts them on display. Whether she does or not, I'm glad to know all my hard work won't be gathering dust in a storage unit somewhere. You got it.
Just give the word and we'll get them.
I found something for you.
Nice to see you.
Hey, what's going on? Don't I always? Here.
Welcome back. I'll see you later.
Thanks for responding to my hail. We've been trying to contact you about your ship's extended warranty. Your warranty coverage has expired or is about to expire. Due to the uncertainty of the political situation in the settled systems, we think now is a great time to renew your ship's warranty protection plan, or purchase a new one if you lack coverage. It sounds like you're interested in hearing more. First, I need to inform you about the warranty claims process as laid out by the United Colonies Arbitration Board. UCAB is not a decision maker and cannot change the outcome of a dispute. Before filing, claimants must submit the following 10 forms of information: complete contact information, make and model of the ship in question, as well as any modifications made to the ship by one of our approved mechanics. Additionally, we require the authorized servicing dealer's contact information, a description of the issues with your component, the resolution you are seeking, monetarily or full replacement, and a signed copy of our information release waiver. Claimants will also need to submit ship logs for the duration the part or parts in question were used, contact information for the 3 previous owners, and our customer satisfaction guarantee waiver. May I continue? It sounds like you're interested in hearing more. We have several tiers of warranty. Please listen closely as terms and conditions may have changed. Our Power Plant Plus plan provides coverage for an essential list of components related to engines, thrusters, and life support systems and starts at only 50,000 credits. Our Diamond Select plan includes everything in the Power Plant Plus plan with the exception of air conditioning and water recycling, as well as defense systems, limited to non-lethals, as well as bow-to-stern shield coverage for 100,000 credits. Our Platinum Elite plan includes everything in the Power Plant Plus plan and the Diamond Select plan, excluding thruster bells but including air conditioning, as well as a personal service agent, and starts at only 200,000 credits. Do any of these plans fit your needs or budget? We also have financing plans with excellent interest rates starting at 18.9%. It sounds like you're not interested in hearing more. That's too bad. We'll continue to reach out to you with additional opportunities. Thank you.
Landing site locked. Take us in.
useful.
No certainty to the universe at all. Once you really start getting out there, the laws of physics kind of turn into suggestions.
You're pulling my leg again, right? No exaggerations this time.
Thing. Unicorn. Not kidding.
What? The mythical mare with the magic horn thing? Come on. Was King Arthur riding on it too?
Okay, it was more of an extreme file, the big shape of a horse. My point still stands. You need an open mind out there. You go into the far reaches of space and tightly wound. Pop like a solar cage. Holy shit. You actually found me.
I wish I could say this is the first time this has happened with Barret. But, well, it isn't.
Holy shit. You actually found me.
I wish I could say this is the first time this has happened with Barret. But, well, it isn't.
Well, this is turning into a regular Constellation party, isn't it? I should have brought drinks. Matsura the Grim here and I actually have a lot in common.
Both escape artists. Being captured by Sistep myself plenty of times.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Relativity. We're all just creatures of the universe, trying to get away from what's after us. Well, you didn't need to worry too much. Matsura the Grim here is actually a wonderful host.
No reason captivity should be unpleasant.
See, that's what I mean, Matsura. Real considerate.
I have enjoyed our time together, Barret. But I can't just let you go with nothing to show for it. Is Constellation willing to pay ransom in exchange for this man's freedom?
We do have some insurance set aside for this exact problem.
Does that mean you'll be paying me, Miss...
We don't need to be introduced. Here's your money. And we would appreciate it if you could spread the word in the Crimson Fleet that Barret shouldn't be harassed. It's not working out for any of us.
That's a fair point. But I can't control a man's reputation.
Do what you can. A suggestion to the right ears can work wonders.
Very well. Goodbye to you all. I have enjoyed this little exchange.
See you around, Matsura. I mean, well, you know, hopefully not.
He's free to go. I do not encourage you to return. Our business is concluded. See yourselves out.
Got nothing to say to you. Oh, for God's sake. Drop some of that rubbish already. Matsura's in charge. You're lucky the boss is so generous.
So, back to the lodge? Honestly, I was kind of rolling the dice with you. But hey, sometimes a bet pays off. Hey, you're underselling my harrowing escape from certain doom here. A little charm goes a long way when the knives are out. Matsura the Grim? Honestly, a pretty nice guy as far as pirates go. I think I butted heads with his mentor once years back. Had the same kind of surprisingly hospitable vibe. Gladly. I think about it a lot. There's so many possibilities. I'm not a fearful man, but I am just a man. And I'm keenly aware that this artifact could change my life. Or end it. On Bendy? No, wait. It was Kazal. I can feel Lin's admonishing stare boring a hole in my back. She's not actually standing behind me, is she? Well, point is, my story's probably a lot like yours. We dug a pit, found some really wonky readings, followed them to the artifact. Well, they certainly mean something, because not everyone who touches the artifacts sees them. My first instinct was it was a message of some kind, like the Voyager records. Communication from a higher life form reaching out blindly into space. But now I'm wondering if the vision wasn't just sensory. My new theory is something's changed in us physiologically. As in not just a message from beyond, but a delivery. Well, when I picked it up, I had no idea what it was. I knew it was something spectacular, though. I saw a vision. Flashing lights, the whole shebang. Sure. Let's see. I've been in Constellation for a long time, as you know. I enjoy cheese, my work, and long walks on Onyx. What else did you want to know about? Anytime. Right. Later.
Got nothing to say to you.
I enjoyed our conversation. Let go. He's free to go. I do not encourage you to return.
Matsura's in charge. You're lucky the boss is so generous.
Okay, if you insist.
Here we go!
I'm glad you're on my side.
If I had to pick something positive to say about the Crimson Fleet, I'd be at a loss.
Hello, Captain.
After this, you're kind of a pirate aficionado. Too soon?
What's up?
Same as I was a few moments before you asked. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm worried about you. That time you spent as a prisoner with those pirates, it couldn't have been easy.
Honestly, it
What can I
wasn't
do
as
for you,
bad
boss?
as you're picturing. Don't get me wrong, they weren't exactly having me over for dinner, but I wasn't being tortured either.
Okay. I'll trust that you're telling me the truth. But if you ever need to talk, I'm always available.
Howdy, Skipper.
I appreciate that. And who knows, maybe I'll take you up on that one day.
Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind. Now that we're here, perhaps we could spend a bit of time relaxing rather than planning?
First artifact was taking up dust on the library shelf. Now look at them all. You feel it a bit, can't you? Ever since I found the second one, had the visions. Being around them is just comforting. So hey, I'm still not 100%, plus I feel guilty dragging you into all of this. Why don't I stick around? Help you get adjusted to the weird corners of the universe? It doesn't really matter to me. Never get too attached to ships. After the 5th or 6th time one blows up and you get marooned, the romance fades. Plus the Frontier is a constellation ship. And you're one of us now. So it's just as much yours as mine at this point. Marvelous.
Take note. Everyone here is worth learning from. Yes.